Source Nation. Tonight's program was brought to you by KVEL Products, the original all-natural transition from chemical to natural with KVEL Products.
Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening live to Love Zone Mondays with hosts Kathy B. and Dr. D. Yvonne Young.
And welcome back, Source Nation. Welcome back. You're listening live right here on Love Zone Mondays. Well, you guys know what time it is. That's right. My dynamic, amazing co-host is here in the studio with me, and we have another hot topic tonight. Tonight's discussion is all about how often do we express gratitude and gratefulness in our relationships. Now, you know, Source Nation, have you ever, now think about this, have you ever considered why we often fail in our personal lives and relationships? Now, could it very well be us not understanding gratitude, which is the appreciation of what is really and truly given? And we will never, think about this, we will never accomplish the area of gratefulness if we have not embraced our past, present, and future. Now, I know that Dr. Young is going to come in tonight. He's going to give us some excellent information in regards to being grateful and having gratitude in our relationships and really begin to decipher between the two, because I think that we often fall short on both. But in order, you know, that this platform, Source Nation, is in longevity and making sure that we understand how we can get to those two places and keep those two places in our relationship. Of course, you are listening live right here on Love Zone Mondays tonight. Telephone number to reach us, because we are live. That's right, 619-924-0933. Again, 619-924-0933. I do believe that Dr. Young is right here in the studio with me. Dr. Young, hello and welcome to Love Zone Mondays. How are you?
I'm doing well. How's your holiday going?
It's going wonderful, enjoying it, but I am excited to have you here with me because we have a great conversation tonight. Of course, you just heard me state that tonight's conversation is all about how often do we express gratitude and gratefulness in our relationships. And, of course, this is something that we all should be able to take into our relationships and begin to create that success and longevity that you and I often talk about here. So let's get started, Dr. Young. I would like to know, in regards to gratitude and gratefulness, explain those two areas of how we can actually implement those into our relationships.
Well, the first thing is life has to be lived with intention. There must be a defined purpose. You cannot achieve any goal, I don't care what you're doing, until you have clarity about the goal. You know, all day long people fail at things, and it's not because they plan to fail. They fail to plan. They fail to connect and have a reason or a legitimate purpose for that which they seek, that which they desire, that which they want. And as a result, you end up just wasting a lot of time, losing any sense of hope or any sense of validation. And the reason you lose it is simple. How can you arrive somewhere specific when you have a very vague destination in mind?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe that. Having destination in mind, knowing where you want to go in your relationship, I think is very important. You know, I talked about being able to journal some of the things that took place with me in my past relationship and how that has truly helped me. Not only that, Dr. Young, being able to say that I am thankful for some of the hardships that I had to experience in my personal life as well as in my professional life, and how grateful I am for where God has placed me now, because that has made me such a stronger person. So I want to talk about that, being able to be in acceptance of what has taken place and where you're going in life and why that is so important.
Well, there are times that we look at success, and I think one of the first things one must do is define what the hell is success. At least what is it to you? I see times in my practice as, there's some onboarding processes that I have people do. One of the things is I have them take a test to understand the personality type and their default mode of handling conflict. And another test that I have them do helps them to start looking at, okay, what are my validation systems? But even after you get all of that in a row, you must ask yourself, what is success to me? Is success money? Is it, and if it is money, how much money, and what the hell are you going to do with it? Is success something physical? Are you trying to lose weight? Well, how many pounds? You want to get in better shape. Well, how do you measure what's good shape? You look at your career. Well, define that. What do you, or first, are you even doing the very thing that you were created to do? Or are you doing what you love? And if so, where are you? I mean, are you at the first stage, or are you in the middle? To look at life and to look at it accurately, one must not only determine where you want to be, but another step is be realistic. Where are you right now? What's going on? What is your life consisting of? What is it composed of? Who is in your life? What is part of your life? What are the things that you're doing right this very moment that are contributing to or deterring you from reaching your goal? As you examine definition, you get clarity. They say people perish for a lack of knowledge. I'm not going to say that's wrong, but what I will say is a lot of people are really blowing it because of lack of clarity. They don't even know which way is up. They don't know north from south, up from down. Haven't determined that, is this the right time? Is this the right time for me to have a baby? Is this the right time for me to get married? Is this the right time for me to make a commitment to you? Until you get you together, until you pay particular attention to the things in life that really matter, those significant things, you will never achieve little, if any, of them. I've watched my own career, and I remember years ago I said, man, I just want to make 1,000. And one day, this lady called. She says, well, I'd like to have you come out. I go out to this really nice neighborhood, and the lady tells me what's going on. She paid, and she says, well, how much is it? And I remember being so intimidated to say it's $1,000. I was so intimidated. Now, ask me how quick will I tell you it costs 1,000 or more, but I just remember that I didn't even know my own value. I knew I was valuable, but I didn't know my value. I didn't know how valuable my knowledge or my time was. So that's one thing. Another thing is be very clear about why are you doing what you want to do, and be willing to say no to some folk. I've had a couple of schools come in with Dr. Young, we'd like for you to come speak at our school. And I said, well, that's fine. Here's the price. Well, wow, that's too much. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not your guy. Maybe you want to call someone else. Now, other people would say, well, how long did you have to speak? 15 minutes. That does not mean I'm changing my fee. I don't care if I speak 30 minutes or an hour. My fee is the fee. And at the end of the day, it's because I know my value. Now, where is that school? They're about to go out of business. And see, these are things that you have to think about, is that something that is on your level will have no problem accommodating that which you are. But when you start trying to fit things into your life, and this could range from people, circumstances, situations, belief systems, things that you typically would probably not even pay particular attention to, but now you have to take a good hard look at self and say, you know what, where does this fit in? Am I really being true to who I am and what I am? And if so, what is it that I'm willing to put up with? I've had people come to me with business deals, and I've learned something. How they start, that's how they stay. When people come to you and they act like they are being funny about paying you, I'm going to tell you, raise one eyebrow. But if that keeps up for a couple of days, you might want to raise both of them, because down the road, that's going to be a pain in your butt that you would never believe. You know, there are times when we have to trust and allow God to be God. Everything that glitters isn't gold. There are times when people want to work with you, but they're on a fence in their own lives, and it has absolutely nothing at all to do with you. But if their commitment is wavering, do you think that's going to be a good situation for you? And this applies to everything, personal relationships. If the person isn't sure that they want to be committed, well, why in the hell are you with them? If the person isn't sure that they want to invest in your business, do you really want that money? You know, what happens when they give it to you, and a month later or 3 weeks later, they come back and say, well, I changed my mind, and you spent half of it? You know, you have to stop and learn to get clarity, see your circumstances for what they are. And here's the big one, people. I know a lot of my religious friends out there are going to love this. You're going to have to learn to trust God, because He is your ultimate business partner. You want to put anything or anybody else before yourself and your Creator, you're probably headed for trouble.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now that right there is something that's key. I want to stay right there for a moment, because you said some great things, Dr. Young, but gaining clarity on the decisions that we need to make. You know, you mentioned earlier about sometimes you may have to eliminate some things, eliminate some people, eliminate certain situations in your life in order for you to stay on the journey that you started out on. And I want to talk about that because a lot of folks tend to waver, just as you said, and they waver for various reasons. Let me ask you, in your opinion, why do we do that, or why would we do that when we supposedly have an understanding where our journey is taking us?
Well, sometimes I don't think we have that understanding. I think what's happening, we're going through motions, and you have to stop being so damn scared and frightened, thinking that it's not going to work or things aren't going to go your way. Yes, it is. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Every event is not meant to be the event for your life. You know, sometimes it's just practice. You know, stuff is really just practice. You know, and you have to ask yourself, as I practice, you know, how do I, like some of my NBA guys and my NFL guys, they when I work with them, I've had several of them have extremely successful years in the last couple of seasons. And, you know, it wasn't just me that caused that. It was me, their work ethic, their coach, good input from spiritual leadership and their family. But here's what Dr. Young contributed is the fact that you got to practice well. Practice. If you perfect practice, you're going to be pretty damn good. If you just perfect practice, if you perfect being the first one there and the last one to leave, if you perfect going after every ball or every play at 100, if you learn to appreciate the fatigue in your work, I mean, when I get off this interview, I have a gym in my house. I'm going to work out. And I'm doing this. I did P90X and some other stuff, but I'm doing this Body Beast workout. And you know, it's so funny. I would look at cardio and think, man, I'm getting on the elliptical, and I'm going to do an hour on my elliptical, and I'm going to set the resistance up high. And I mean, I would sweat like a pig by the time I got off. So now I'm doing a different type of cardio workout, and this thing's got me doing some burpees and the jumping and all this stuff. When I'm done with that, at 15 minutes, I am as exhausted as I was at an hour on the elliptical. Well, what was the difference? I'm actually really doing an intense cardio workout now. See, in other words, what I'm saying to you is sometimes what you thought was enough wasn't enough. What you thought was you being on top of your game was you doing the familiar. And see, it had become familiar. I remember when my marker was I remember getting on an elliptical at the gym looking at this white chick, and I thought she was crazy. Because I'm like, this heifer been on this damn thing 30 minutes. And I got on it for 10, and I was ready to go lay it out, right? But see, my body got to a point where now I can do 10 miles, and I can do 8 miles and 12 miles. And do I feel it? Hell yeah, I feel it, but I'm very capable of doing it. Well, now when I change my level and I decided, you know what, let me meet this challenge. All of a sudden I found myself saying, okay, you're not where you thought you were. You're not as good as you thought. Did that mean I won't get as good? No. It just means that, you know what, there's always a new level. And I started learning, I don't care if I stop this doggone this CD and push pause every 5 minutes, I'm going to make it through this hour. And now, will I be fatigued and tired as hell? Yes. Let's not even lie about that. Yes. But the truth is, I've learned to enjoy pushing myself until I can't push myself anymore. And that's what you have to do, ladies and gentlemen. You have to stop and think, you know, how bad do I want it? And if I really want it, as bad as I say I want it, I'm going to do what it takes for me to get there. I'm going to push myself. I'm going to embrace the unfamiliar. I'm going to tell little mama, bye, boo, bye, girl, bye, Felicia. I can make it without you. I don't need you. I'm going to tell this man, bye, I don't need you, honey. You know, I'm going to tell the job, bye, you don't have to pay me too little when I deserve so much more. I'm going to tell my negative thoughts and my self-sabotaging behaviors bye, because I'm sick and tired of me getting in my way. I'm going to tell these friends I've known for weeks, months, and even years bye, because I remember doing a lecture, Kathy, and I was lecturing one day. So when I got through, you know, I'm doing something in the hood, and I had a sister walk up, and she said, well, I heard what you said, Dr. Young, but I don't agree with you because, see, I got friends that have been my friends for the longest, and every time I need $15, they there for me. And I said, you are a damn fool, and here's why. Have you ever stopped to think if you wasn't associating with these people, you wouldn't need to borrow $10 or $15? And the whole little group of people with her said, damn, he told you. No, let's get this off good times level. I want you to stop and think about what I just told you. I said, if you had a different set of influencers, because everyone around you, who you calling a friend, you need to recognize what they really are, an influencer.
Yes.
Now, if you had a different set of influences, you would need $10 or $15. See, it's better sometimes to leave the company of those who think they've arrived and get with some people who know where they're headed.
Right.
It behooves you sometimes to realize that, you know what, I had a long talk last night. I'm working on this new book, and I'm looking at the stars, and I get up and I have to go take these breaks and look at the heavens and talk to God. I'm on the beach, and I go and walk to the water. You know, it's dark, the skies, the stars are there, and there are a couple of particular heavenly bodies I pay attention to. It's like they're always there. And I just looked up, and, when I walked away, deep down inside I knew, I don't care. I don't care if someone tells me no, because I know the right person is that much closer to coming on the horizon and tell me yes. Yeah. I remember being at the Urban League, and I was sitting there being interviewed and doing my thing, and, the Urban League treated me so well. There were some other parties that probably could have done a little bit better. And I had someone walk up and say, you are really good at this. We love your books. We love what you do. I've got somebody that I think could really do something better for you. And I was like, okay, well, cool. Let me meet them. And I met this sister, and right away we chatted. She said, okay, well, I need to meet with my partner back on the East Coast, and we'll talk. The next thing, I got a phone call, and this is my prayer, folks. I want you to hear this. My prayer in the last year for the brand has been kind of like what I said earlier about the TV thing,
Right.
and the $1,000. I was so happy to make that $1,000, and I remember being on TV in the local market, and I went from the local market to being featured nationally in all these magazines and being interviewed around the country. Then I went from that to actually being on national TV every week. And I just remember last year I said, God, I know you call me to do bigger things.
Mhm.
I'm ready to do them. I have the presentation. I have the ability. I have the gift. Allow me to use my gift. Your word says that anything I ask for, I'll get. Your word says my talents will bring me before great men, and my gifts will make room for me. Your word says you will supply all, not some, not most, but all of my needs according to my purpose. I said, I'm ready. Supply my needs, bring me before the great men, and let wherever I set my foot give me dominion, right?
Wow.
So next thing I know, I get a letter saying, Dear Dr. Young, congratulations. I'm the president of the National Urban League, and we've selected you as a speaker for our conference. Would you honor us with your presence? Now, see, I don't have to pay for that plane ticket.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, I don't have to ask anybody to do anything. All I got to do is just be there. And when I show up, they're going to take very good care of me. And see, a lot of people will say, well, see, won't God do it? Won't God do it? Well, let me tell you the truth. God didn't do that. God gave me the ability to do that, but I did that. And see, a lot of you are spiritualizing everything. The Lord is the Lord. The Lord intervenes in your life probably maybe in a lifetime 10, 20, maybe 30 times. Because if God is intervening for you every day, every week, ain't you a hot mess? I mean, think about it. Nobody can help you but God. How jacked up are you on a consistent basis? Isn't there a time that this free will and good health He gave you, shouldn't you be able to get some stuff done yourself? Because it said faith without works is dead. So aren't you doing something of works that's bearing you some fruit? Because if you're not, your sorry ass needs to stop waiting on God and get off your butt. And this is the truth of what a part of this mystery about success and happiness and gratitude, And I'm not telling you don't be grateful. I'm not saying, you know what, you don't have to be grateful. Yes, you do. And I show my gratitude because everywhere I go, do I tip the waiter? Yes. Do I say thank you and yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am? Yes, sir, and no, yes. I don't have to do that. But I've also learned that if I don't acknowledge who I am, if I don't acknowledge the level at which I'm operating and that I have nothing, I don't need to walk in the room with my head down, hoping somebody will give me a shot. I demand my shot. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you this, and this is some good stuff, America. I speak into existence my shot every day. Every week I write down, God, thank you for doing what you did last week. I appreciate this flight. I appreciate this money. I appreciate these new clients. But however, God, I want to thank you, and I don't even ask Him anymore. I just thank Him for what I want. Even if I don't have it yet, I say, God, thank you for making me a multimillionaire. Thank you for me having a lucrative publishing deal that pays me hundreds of thousands of dollars. God, thank you for the right television network recognizing my gifts and paying me accordingly with contracts written in my favor. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in unlimited quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I am so happy and grateful now for perfect health, stamina, and virility. And see, as I speak blessings over my life, as I declare things that are of a good and resounding nature, things that will last, as I declare those things over my life, as I speak blessings over my life, what comes out of my mouth, I end up living. So if you're sitting there going, you know what, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. I can't find a good man. Man, all these women, they ain't about blank. I'm so sick of this mess. I hate this job. Whatever you speak, you get more of it.
That's right.
So why don't you now start speaking blessings into your life, why don't right now, and I do mean you should try this because, it's so funny tonight. I got ready to do a big promotion and stuff even on this program, and I got to thinking, we're not going to do that tonight. And, my ego said, Negro, are you crazy? You need to do that. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. You know why? Because if it wasn't nobody but me and Kathy listening to the show, maybe this is for Kathy. Maybe this is for me. If you're listening right now via phone or radio or internet, it is for you. I promise you, it is for you. That this isn't supposed to be shared with everyone. This isn't supposed to be given to everybody. But for some reason, the universe, your creator, God, Allah, Jesus, Jehovah, Yahweh, Krishna, whatever you want to call God, it ain't but one of them, and it's him. God has you listening to this program right now because you have been sitting back, praying your little butt ceaseless. Some of you have been crying and snot running all out your nose. You got to shout and punch that Ursha in the eye or whatever. When all you had to do was none of that emotional, fanatical stuff. All you had to do is just start speaking blessings over your own life. All you had to do was see your vision, write it down, and make it plain. All you had to do was take one step and God would take the next one. All you had to do was have the faith of a grain of a mustard seed in yourself instead of that Negro or that woman that you trying to screw your way into $5,000 or $10,000 with. Instead of these people who you keep blowing up their phone, hoping that they're going to loan you that money. Stop it. Stop making a damn fool out of yourself. So everything that you need, it's already an escrow waiting on you. And
yes, it is.
What I want you to caution yourself from is this. Stop going to people that are fronting in front of your face like they believe in you when they don't. Stop acting. I'm going to tell you something. There are more people that will help you by accident than you could beg on purpose. There are people out here that will give you the loan. And some people, it ain't even a loan. They'll give you an opportunity to make the money you wanted to borrow. There is so much here that if you would just have confidence that he who began a good work in you would see it through until his very end, that he would actually do what he said, that he would open up the windows of heaven and pull you out this blessing you would not be able to receive. And I'm not being religious. I know some of y'all are getting on the good foot right now. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Okay, good. But the truth is, and I'm not saying Jesus isn't real, so don't think I'm saying anything I'm saying to the contrary, that you have in you the same thing Jesus had in him. You have a divine and Holy Spirit in you that gives you the provision and gives you the strength and gives you the power to be able to bring forth that which you truly desire. But if you don't use it, what good is it if you don't stop and really think this thing through and demand that, you know what, I am so ready to be blessed. I am so ready to be happy. If you don't take dominion over these wild and dark thoughts you're having and really own the fact that you can do so much more with so much less. And I want to say this because this just hit my spirit for somebody out there that's listening. You feel like, if I had this chance 2 months ago, well, I had the money, but, you may have lost it at that doggone casino, I don't know, or, you loaned it to somebody, they didn't pay you back, or your credit was good, but now it's bad. See, God allowed all that to be taken from you because you didn't need all that to work with. And you would not be as resourceful if you had that to work with. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't think through your next move. You just, kind of like you've been doing, just flying by the seat of your pants. You wouldn't sit and do a feasibility study. You wouldn't stop and think, okay, what are all my options? Not the options. What are all of my options? You wouldn't stop to ask yourself the question, is this the right time to do this? Is this the right place? Are these the circumstances set before me that I need in order to be who and what I need to be? And if your answer to those questions has not been found yet, maybe right now, is the time that you need to stop and think about it. Maybe right now is the time that you need to counting on people who keep giving you all these promises and never come through, and you begin to fully embrace the fact that, you know what, all I need is to just kind of like walking 100 miles. I can't walk all the miles at once, but if I can just take this first step, and I'll do as much as I can today. Now tomorrow, let me take another step, and let me get as much done as I can. Okay, now day after that, let me take another step. See, before you look up, you will have gone way past your 100 miles. So I'm going to give you the formula that I use. Every day, I set 5 goals. And I know doggone well, knowing me, I'm only going to achieve 3 of them, but I try to go for 5. Now, some more truth. At the end of a day, typically, there are days I've hit all 5. And then there are days that I hit 3, but let's average it at 3. At the end of the month, I have achieved 90 things, 90 significant things in 30 days. Now, what fool do you know that can achieve 90 significant things and not make a lot of progress? Or better yet, at the end of a quarter, I've achieved 270 things. Now, who do you know that can achieve 270 things and not make significant progress? But even better, at the end of the year, I've achieved 1,080 things, significant things. Who do you know that can achieve 1,080 significant things and not have done better? Mm-hmm. So I want you to realize that which you seek is equally seeking you, and everything that you need to accomplish it is housed in you.
Wow. Wow. I love that. Source Nation, we are speaking with Dr. D. Yvonne Young. Tonight's conversation is on how often do we express gratitude and gratefulness in our relationship. And I will say this, Source Nation, and I will say this to you, Dr. Young, that this conversation is definitely meant for me and our family here at Source Radio Network. We often talk about the things that we want to accomplish as a station. And when I tell you, and I tell people this all the time, 3 years ago in my life, if you would have asked me what was Source Radio Network, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. I would have told you, I don't know. Don't know what that is. And I really don't care what that is. Because I was in a transition, Dr. Young, where I really didn't like media, and I wanted to do something different. Something different. I wanted to come away from it because that had been my life for 22 plus years. And I wanted something more. And I was like, okay, God, what more for me? What else can I do? And I wanted to set out on my passion, which was interior design. But guess what? God said, no, that's not what you are called to do. Your calling is within media. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a platform where you're now going to have a voice. And you're going to be able to tell the stories that have not yet been told and the stories that should be told. Not only that, because opportunities were given to you 22 years ago, you're going to be able to give others opportunity too. And when I tell you that this has been the most beautiful 3 years, beautiful, blessed 3 years, because I've been able to meet some amazing people, talk with amazing people, have great conversations that I have not had in 22 years, meet amazing people such as yourself that I have not been able to do in the 22 years that I've been in media. It has been amazing. But the one thing that I do realize is that you have to be really disciplined. And discipline in your thoughts, discipline in your manners, discipline in your goals, and be able to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. And I honestly think that you have to have a group of people that believe in that also. Because when I tell you, the only person at the time that knew anything about media on our staff, Dr. Young, was me. But when I tell you that God has blessed me with a group of people that have decided to grow with me and say, I am willing to be coached, right now I tell you, I wouldn't trade them for anything. Some amazing people that can get on the mic every single night and deliver. That's what God has blessed me with. You know, He has blessed me with. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, something I want to say to that, and I apologize for interrupting you, but what you're talking about is power in the spirit of agreement. And that, I want to speak to that real quick. When we start looking at fulfilling our purpose and being what we were created to be, where we miss it is we don't realize the significance of the power of agreement. We don't recognize that sometimes what you truly have to have in order to be successful isn't money, but just people that believe in you and people that support your vision, people that love you for who you're not as well as who you are. These are the things that matter. The flossing and the talking big and trying to be bruh man and all of that stuff, that is none but foolishness. The real truth is you don't need but a few people. This is the people that you really need. Some of them you haven't even met yet. But if you would just chill out and sit your behind somewhere and stop looking under rose bushes and in the bushes for things and accept the fact that, you know what, God already gave me everything I need. I don't have to push myself and prostitute myself for your support and your help. Matter of fact, that's the exact opposite of what God wants you to do. And I'm not trying to get religious, what have you, with you, but I do want to just keep it real. You have everything you need. And many of you have more than you need. And the reason that a lot of you haven't made it yet isn't because you're thinking what you're thinking, or you're thinking that you're thinking too big. You're not thinking big enough. As a matter of fact, you're thinking too damn small, and that's why you haven't made it where you need to make it.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight, I urge you, when this program is over, even while you are listening, I want you to just stop and think, you know what? Where am I right now? Who's in my corner? And if it ain't nobody but you, that's a good thing. Because that means you've gotten rid of all these old fake-ass people that wasn't going to help you no way. The other part of it is your best teammate is invisible. You can't see them. And that's your spirit. That's your creative source. That's the power behind you. And as you start pushing yourself in directions to be all that you were created to be, you're going to find sooner than later that which you seek has been seeking you. But as long as you sit there listening to Merry Christmas, Baby, and No More Trouble by Mahalia Jackson and all that, looking like you're about to leave Big Mama Neil's funeral, you are not going to get the help and inspiration you need. But if you change that frown to a smile, if you replace that grimace and that despair with hope, if you stop begging and start sharing your wonderful idea with the right people, I didn't say with everybody because some people will take your idea and go steal it, but if you would just be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, position people around you that really sincerely love you, or if it's just you, and I'm going to tell you, when God really gives you something big, I want you to know two things, and it's going to sound like the utter contradiction. You don't need nobody's help, and you can't pull it off by yourself. Now, I know you're going, God damn, Dr. Young, what was that? I don't need nobody's help, but I can't do it alone. That don't even make sense. Well, yes, it does, and here's why. The only help that you need is to be focused in your own help. You don't, the people that are meant to come your way, they are going to show up. You won't know them. I
That's right.
remember, and everything that I'm looking at, I didn't know Kathy B from Kathy C, Kathy D, or Kathy A. I didn't know Rudy Fishman from A Hole in the Wall. I didn't know David Lewis. I didn't know Harrison Land. I didn't know, I didn't know Mocha. I didn't know a lot of these people. But see, out of the blue, these people called me. And I'm like, well, who are you? Well, Dr. Young, we were on the internet, or so-and-so heard you speak, or I have your book. And the most wonderful of things that has come my way, it came to me because I wasn't looking. I was just being me. I was doing what I do, and I was doing it very well, but I wasn't trying to impress anybody. I was just doing it at a level of excellence that I made my standard. So I'm saying to you, if you will just hold the line, if you will remain diligent and focused, if you will continue to believe in yourself and don't let anyone discourage you, don't tell you what you can't do. Now, I'm not going to tell your crazy butt, because I know some of y'all just took that with a BB gun and say, I'm gone. No. I didn't say that didn't mean that you didn't need to sit down and write out a decent plan. I did not say that you don't need to do feasibility studies. I did not say that you didn't need to get the credentials to do what, if it's a profession that requires licensing or a profession that requires a certain certification or registration. I didn't tell you not to go get that. So don't be up here bootlegging something you need to be doing legitimately. But what I am saying to you is that take the steps. Take a step in the right direction. Stop procrastinating. Stop telling everybody your damn vision, because half these people that you think are with you are against you. Stop expecting someone else to do the work for you. Do it yourself. Whatever it is that you do, you need to be able to fire everybody and keep it moving and not care when you kick them out. But the truth is, as you perfect this gift God gave you, you will be given assistance. You will be given advice. You will be birthed into circumstances. You'll just be in the right place at the right time, and somebody will be in the room listening, and somebody will be just sitting there, and they'll be like, I'm going to be honest with you, America. I will be the first to tell you, every major blessing that has happened to me, I didn't see it coming. And all the stuff that I thought was going to happen never did. All the people who I wrote letters to and kissed their butts, and I really cared what they thought of me, ain't now one of them damn folks helped me do nothing but give me a headache and probably took some money out of my pocket. But the people that just showed up on the scene and said, you know what, I believe in you, Dr. Young, and, let me help you. The Riche Joneses and the Lowell Pennox of the world, in my world, that showed up and just said, you know what, brother, let me believe here. If you can get me a scope of work, and I'm going to tell you, just I'm going to be so honest. I wish if there's a sister named Lucretia, if she's listening to this show right now, she's about to fall out laughing probably. But, it's so bad when people trying to give you some money. And I ain't talking about no little bitty of money. I'm talking about, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, and you have to write up a scope of work, and every time you write it up, it's wrong. And they send it back. Well, and they finally just get to a point where they say, just send it to me in a Word document. Let me fix it. But that's the truth of how God will bless you. He will send people your way that will go out their way just to make sure you get it right. Mm-hmm. But if you continue down this path of trying to get blessed in places where there is no blessing, trying to make some force fit, let me say it the right way, trying to force fit something, or trying to jump up, pull your drawers down, but do some strange for some change, beg your way, go out and take one of these rip-off loans where they telling you, well, yeah, I'll loan you the money, and then you didn't read the fine print. You thinking, well, if I could just get $15,000, let me tell you something, $15,000 is no money. And that $15,000 can end up costing you $30,000 or $40,000 and ruining your business. So some of you right now aren't receiving what God has for you because you're trying to make something happen that is not meant to happen yet. So take your time, put your faith in the right place, and allow everything to come together. And it will. I promise you. Don't sit on your butt and do nothing. Now, I didn't say do that. But what I am saying is be anxious for nothing. Keep working on it, and success is one thing. It's opportunity meeting preparation. When you're prepared, you will get what God has for you.
Love it. Great conversation tonight. Great information that you have shared, Dr. Young. You know, we have come to the end of our conversation, and I hate that because I can listen all night to more things that you can say regarding this topic. But if you will, you know, as we are closing out, we always like to leave with some form of encouragement or possibly some tips or advice that we have not shared in tonight's conversation. If you wish to contribute, I would love for you to do so at this time.
Here's what I want to say to all of us, and I'm going to include me in it too. Get what you have to offer the world together, whatever that is. Batch of cookies, a new book, going to play a sport, going back to school. Get it together. Go finish getting your financial aid straight. I know school just started. Go and take your butt up there, and you can still get in this semester. Don't wait till the fall to the spring. The school just started. Go in there and walk your paperwork through. You might have to get a professor that sucks, but, you know, just go ahead and get in there. Get in there and get it happening. Stop putting off tomorrow what you need to take care of today. Don't worry about it if you don't have enough funds. Get started anyway. God will meet you along the way with some extra funding. But whatever you do, don't sit on your vision. Take the steps you need to take. Get out there and just do it. Like the Nike logo, just do it. Don't be scared. You know, don't let fear hold you back. Don't let intimidation hold you back. And now, for those of you that ain't got no damn sense, go and study. Go get your homework done. Go turn it down a little bit, back up and then pull in. You know, tall trees have deep roots. And then this is for the other ones. Some of y'all have done everything right. You haven't done a doggone thing wrong. It just ain't your time yet. And understand that when God says, God didn't say denied, he just said delayed, because now divine timing is playing a role in what you're doing. That's okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to be daring and bold with you and say it's a hell of a lot better to do things in God's time than in your time.
Well, that's
so don't
true.
Don't trip. You know, don't trip. Don't get weary. Everything's working for your good.
Source Nation, thank you for listening to tonight's program, brought to you by K-Bell Products. Transition from chemical to natural with K-Bell.